meet a woman who's so terrified of Simon Cowell, it has become a phobia. This is no joking matter. Her heart rate goes up. She feels physically sick. We're trying to cure her today. We're trying to cure that phobia.
Yes.
So we've got the Speakmans here. We know that they've always been very successful in all the other things they've done. Fingers crossed she will be watching the X Factor this weekend.
This may be Mission Impossible, though.
Could be. Let's hope not.
X Factor. Now, OK, millions of people tune into it, but what happens if you actually really medically need to avoid it?
Yeah, now this is Michelle Hall. She is terrified of Simon Cowell, and this is very real for Michelle. She's so scared it has become a real phobia, and she's had enough now, and she really wants it to stop. So we've got schema conditioning therapists Nick and Eva Speakman. You see them here a lot on the show. They're hoping to help today. But before we get started with that, Michelle, this is how Simon Cowell actually affects Michelle's life.
This phobia of Simon Cowell started about 10 years ago, and he came on in his trousers up to his waist, and that winking of his eyes, it was just like I started to panic.
At first I thought it was a laugh, and yeah, I was as bad as the kids, to be honest.
Where he just made fun of her and started putting pictures up on the wall.
Cup of tea.
And then it just got worse and worse, and then we realised that it actually wasn't a joke.
Oh gosh! Simon invited me down to the X Factor to see if he can help us. Do I or don't I?
The kids have been invited to X Factor, and I think that would be really good for them because they really enjoy it. But for Michelle, I don't know.
I'm in two minds whether by confronting him would help the phobia or would it make it worse. So I'm in a mixed mind at the moment.
Well, you know, I think this is a lot of fun to a lot of people, particularly the newspapers this week, and, you know, understandably so, it's a bit outrageous to people, Michelle.
Yeah.
But we're watching your heart monitor, you're rigged up to heart monitor, and already, as we talk about and we show images on screen which you can't look at, your heart rate is going up. So it seems funny, but it's really very, very serious to you.
Yeah. He's just so frightening. It's when he looks, I just can't watch him. He's just like he looks at me like I'm coming to get you. That's what I get this feeling of.
And I could see when that was playing, just even the mention of his name, you were physically shaking as well.
Yeah, I can't hear I can't listen to his voice, and if I see his pictures in a magazine, newspaper. That's it.
Because you can't fake this, though. That's what we're trying to say.
Yeah, absolutely not, and it's a really good example of any phobia, really, because people can have the most bizarre phobias to something that someone would go and just make fun of. But it is really serious, and you've actually been prescribed medication for it, haven't you?
Yeah. And why do you think, particularly Simon Cowell or somebody that you don't know, it's just a person on the television?
There's got to be some sort of an association, and I mean, we literally haven't spent any time at all with Michelle yet, so that's something that we're looking to find out. I mean, how long have you had this?
10 years.
So it started 10 years ago. Was there anything significant happening in your life then?
Before that, my father passed, and that, which I was a bit upset and that, so I was given medication for that, for a bit of anxiety as well. I was anxious and things. And then when I started watching the X Factor, it just sort of like, when I saw him, it just like took over me. It just like the eyes, he came out with that twinge, and it just like frightened the life out of me. So.
And you do get an anxiety attack?
I get an anxiety attack,
I mean,
shakiness.
It's really sad because, like Nick said, so many people find phobias amusing. But, I mean, this is very real for you. And, I mean, I can see that you do look so very, very distressed.
Yeah.
But, Michelle, if you were to meet him, and having met him, he's not that bad in real life, is he?
He's very nice.
He's very, very nice, actually, as it turns out. Do you think that would diffuse it? Do you think that would help?
If I could meet him, I was hoping it would cure me fear, you know, like conquer it. But I'm in two minds, will it or won't it, you know, and I don't want to have the attack in front of him, you know, because I don't think it's a nice thing to...
And that's where these guys come in, because although that's what I'm saying in a very simplistic way, there's an in-between stage, obviously, isn't there? That you have, what's your task now today, Nick?
Well, basically, if you imagine what Michelle's created is an association between Simon Cowell and anxiety. And it's an incorrect association. But these things happen to us all the time. It's like when, you know, you can listen to a piece of music and it will take you to a party a good time, or it'll take you to a funeral, which is a bad time. And those things affect our emotions. So she's created this neuro association between Simon Cowell and anxiety, but essentially it wasn't Simon Cowell that caused the anxiety, and we need to find out what it was that caused it and
Michelle,
break that.
We're just saying, just talking about him, you've got your heart rate monitor on, you've got Nick and Eva there to hold your hand. I'm just going to show you some pictures, OK? Because we're trying to kind of get you there slowly.
Yeah, and it's also good for a before and after, both.
Yeah. So if I just show you a picture of him, so this is not on...
What is so bad about what
What's
you're
that
looking
making
at?
you feel like?
It's just like...
Right, I'll stop now. I'll stop now. We just want to prove to people, because as Eamon said, people have had quite a laugh with this in the papers and things. It does sound quite ridiculous, but you can see there that's very, very real. What are you going to do now when you take Michelle off?
We've got to find out exactly what was going on at the point, because it's our view that she's had a traumatic experience of some sort, and Simon Cowell's been on the TV and she's linked that experience to Simon incorrectly because he's done nothing wrong. You know, and he said he's a nice guy. So we need to find out what it is and then break that association and recondition it and change it.
I'm going to try and make her his biggest fan.
We want her watching X Factor this weekend. Your kids and family love it.
They love it. My children, I mean, it's not very nice that I have to leave the room when they want to watch it and that. So I go upstairs and leave them to it.
You're in no better hands than these folk here, but I do have to tell you, we are going to test you the whole way, just to make sure that you've left here a new woman.
Good.
Okay.
I hope.
Good. Thank
so
you.
I can face and watch him on Saturday.
Now look at her heart rate now. Look, it's gone completely down again. That's probably me talking to her.
She's nodded off. She's nodded off, actually. We're going to find out then if Michelle has been cured of that Simon Cowell phobia at the end of the show. So stick around, you don't want to miss that, and best of luck.
This is our big test of the day, our big interview of the day. Michelle Hall told us she was terrified of Simon Cowell. She felt sick when she even saw a photograph of him. Her heart rate went up to, what, 160, 180 at one stage there, and she just can't turn on the telly and see Simon there involved in the X Factor.
So that was just over an hour ago, but since that's happened, Nick and Eva have been working with Michelle. You were quite hopeful, weren't you, that you would find a reason why? We couldn't understand why Simon Cowell, you know, a man who's a very nice man, who hasn't, you know, done anything that we know of. Why him? Have you got to the bottom of that?
We've exactly got to the bottom of it, and I must stress that this was a very real phobia, and the heart rate did go to 182, which was immensely high. You know, when it comes out, when someone looks at you and you go, don't look at me like that, and you get that feeling inside, and so, what do you mean, what have I done? That's what it actually came down to.
Yeah, what actually happened was that when Michelle was a little girl, she ever got told off of her dad, he'd look at her in a certain way and she'd think, oh, God, I better leave the room because I'm going to be in trouble. And that was purely and simply what it was. So Simon actually didn't do anything wrong. It was a memory from childhood.
And also, you mentioned you'd lost your dad
at the same time. It all coincided
so she was grieving
together.
at the same time.
And that is ultimately where this came from.
Was that a revelation to you to actually then connect these two things and realise that Simon was sort of peripheral damage in all of this?
Yeah, it's just the way he sort of like looked, like I was saying to Eva and that to Nick. He's like the way he looked. My dad used to just look exactly the same. So when I was seeing Simon, I was seeing my dad looking.
Well, previously, when we were measuring your heart rate, we say 160, 180. We're looking at the monitor now, and it's sitting around the 120 range, OK?
And when
sitting there 120.
When I showed you these photographs earlier, it went up very rapidly.
It did.
So, can I do that again?
Yeah.
Are you OK? You're smiling this time.
Smiling this time.
OK, here we go. There's lovely.
Gorgeous, man.
Oh, look! Gorgeous.
Well,
Here goes another one. Oh, upside down. Sorry, Simon.
Yeah.
There you go. Yes, all good. Heart rate's still good.
Well, it's gone up by 10 points or so. OK, she's bringing it down again. She's employing whatever technique you guys have taught her. She's having to think about that. It's really going down below the 120 mark.
And she's smiling because
incredible.
you weren't smiling and you were shaking. You were physically shaking.
I was shaking, yeah.
Are you sure she hasn't died? It's going down to 115, 116. No, you don't want you flatline. OK, that's the first stage of all of this, right? We're going to up the ante now, OK? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Up the ante now. Simon Cowell. Say there were... You bumped into not one Simon Cowell, not two. Come on, guys. Not 3 Simon Cowells. Now, you find this funny. Now, she didn't before. The heart rate is amazing. It's sitting around the 106, 109 there, 110. Can you go up and shake hands with any of them?
I'm going to take this off.
No, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep that.
Okay,
Well, guys, come you down here. You come down here. You come down here. You come down here.
Come all of you.
Lovely. OK, guys, you make your way off there. Just shake hands and off you guys go. Thank you very much indeed for all of that. Lovely. So we're sitting...
Okay.
Right, that's great.
Yeah,
That
it's
heart
going
rate's
down. It
absolutely
went up
brilliant.
a little bit. Went up a little bit, but it's coming down.
What difference will this make to your life? Now, take the weekend, for instance. Will you seriously turn on the telly and look at X Factor?
I will, yes.
Yeah, you will. You sure you will, Michelle?
Yes, I'm going to.
Michelle, we have to bring this test to its ultimate conclusion. We've got to push you as far as we can push you to make sure that these people have done the job that they want to do with you. Would you be ready? Would you be ready if I took you by the hand right now, monitoring your heart rate at 110, would you be ready to meet the man himself?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
Would you walk up here all the way from Los Angeles? The heart rate is sitting...
103.
It's getting calmer and calmer and calmer. Simon Cowell could not be in the building today, but this is... I just wanted to check. We just wanted to make sure everything was going to be... Just in case you can shake... What's your name, mate?
Andy.
Very good, Andy. Very, very good.
Brilliant.
Give him a kiss. Give him a hug.
Yeah, there you go.
Andy, come and have a seat. Andy, come and have a seat.
Oh, you got excited about the kiss, though. So you went up. 1, 3, 3. Listen, this is brilliant, Andy. This is super for you. So both of you guys sit down. Simon's your new best friend there. Simon is out of the country or unavailable at the minute, but the scene is set, and you're happy with the result, guys.
Absolutely thrilled.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
fine. She's
Yeah.
fine.
Absolutely
And
brilliant.
how's that sitting right next to the man, kind of himself?
Yeah.
Your family are going to be very pleased.
They
'cause you're
will
going to have
be.
your Saturday night now,
Yeah.
watching it with all the
Not
family.
all be separated and all together.
We're
Yeah.
delighted for you, Michelle. I know it's a big thing. I know it will change your life. Thank you very much again,
Very
Nick
welcome.
and Eva. Really
And
appreciate
Andy,
it. Thank you
Simon.
very much indeed.
Thank you very